Hello friends, good morning. So today we will read about the William Shakespeare, who has taken birth on 1564 and died on 1616. He is the author of 16th century, we can say, and early 17th century. So if we will say a little bit about the William Shakespeare's literary life, then we can say so it is divided into four main parts. William Shakespeare's literary life has divided into four main parts. So first we can say pre 1594, that is King Richard III, the Comedy of Errors, etc. And secondly we can say 1594 to 1600, King Henry V and A Midsummer Night's Dream, etc. And 1601 to 1608, Macbeth, King Lear, etc. And post 1608, that is Chamberlain, The Tempest, etc. So it is the literary life of Shakespeare. Then if we will say some Shakespeare's comedies, then we can recall All's Well That Ends Well is a comedy, The Comedy of Errors, Love's Labour Lost, The Merchant of Venice, Taming of Shrew, Twelfth Night, The Merry Wives of Windsor, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, The Winter's Tale, As You Like It, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, The Winter's Tale, As You Like It, Chamberlain, Measure for Measure, Pericles, Prince of Tyre, Tempest. So these are some Shakespeare's comedies. Then if we will see Shakespearean tragedy, so it has divided into three parts. So first was an exposition of the state of affairs, the beginning, growth and development of conflict, the final catastrophe or tragic outcome. So if we will see, so Shakespearean tragedy is primarily concerned with one person, the tragic hero. And if we will see the Othello, so tragedy occurs as a result of Othello's tragic flaw, sexual jealousy. Okay, then the tragedy ends with the death of tragic hero. So however, even though the hero dies, moral order is eventually restored at the end. Shakespeare's tragedies developed out of earlier 16th century tragedies, which had attendants in tragedies of medieval poetry verse account of disaster, suffering, and death, usually of mighty rulers. Then, if we will see some Shakespeare's tragedies, so they are Romeo and Juliet, King Lear, Othello, The Tragedy of Julius Caesar, Coriolanus, The Life of Timon of Athens, The History of Troilus and Cressida, Macbeth, Hamlet, Titus, Andronicus, Antony and Cleopatra, Cymbeline. Okay. So if we will say about Shakespeare's historical play, then we can say King John, Richard II, Henry IV Part 2, Henry VI Part 1, Henry VI Part 3, Richard III, Henry VIII, Edward III, Henry IV Part 1, Henry V, Henry VI Part 2. So these are some Shakespeare's historical plays. Now, if we will say about the Shakespeare's poems, then we can say the story of Venus and Adonis is taken from Ovid's Metamorphoses. So it describes the unsuccessful seduction of a handsome young man Adonis by Venus, the goddess of love. According to Sanders, the poem contrasts a passive male sexuality with an active female one. Okay, so if we will say about Shakespeare's poem, so then we can say Venus and Adonis 1593, Rape of Lucrece 1594, Passionate Pilgrim 1598, Phoenix and the Turtle 1601, and the Rape and the Lover's Complaint 1609. Venus and Adonis and Rape of Lucrece are Shakespeare's well-known narrative poems, so which are dedicated to Henry Wriothesley, and Earl of Southampton. Okay, so now we will go about Shakespeare's some questions about Shakespeare which are asked. So, if you will see some questions like which fellow actor did Shakespeare remember in his will? So that is Richard Burbeck, John Hemming, and Henry Kendall. How many plays did Shakespeare write? So, if we'll say about the plays, then he has written 37 plays. What happened to the Globe Theatre in 1613? It has burned down. How is Sam Wanamaker connected with Shakespeare? So it was his vision to rebuild the globe. How many words did Shakespeare actually invent? How many words? So he has invented about 3000 words. So when did Shakespeare write his plays? 16th and 17th century, as I have told you. He has died in 1660, so that he has invented, he is the writer of 16th and 17th century both. Okay, then if we will say Venus and Adonis was written in stanza of 6 lines. So which of the following Shakespeare play was written in collaboration with another playwright? So it is the Two Noble King's Men. In Julius Caesar, which character says, "The evil that men do leaves after them, the good is oft interested with their bones, so let it be with Caesar." That is Mark Antony. Then next, which of the following plays is not known to have been based on any existing literary and historical work? So that will be The Tempest. Next, in Henry V, who are the characters? Bardolph, Nym, and Pistock. That is, cronies of the rascally Sir John Falstaff. What was the trade of John Shakespeare, William Shakespeare's father? That is Glover. He was a Glover. In Midsummer Night's Dream, which character's head is transferred into that an ash? That is Nick Botan, the weaver. My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go. So it is a famous quote by Shakespeare. In Hamlet, so who utters this line? In Hamlet, that is Claudius, Hamlet's uncle. In 1592, posthumous memoir was published that included a thinly distinguished attack on Shakespeare, characterizing him as an upstart crow and political recruits. That is what which late rival playwright was the author of the book? So it will say, so who was the playwright? So that is Robert Greene. Okay, next, move to the next question. In Much Ado About Nothing, so most of the action is set in motion by the troublemaking Don John. So, ill-late mate, half-brother of Don Pedro, Prince of Aragon. So, according to Don John himself, what is the motive for his villainy? So, what is the motive for his villainy? That is, he simply enjoys wickedness for his own. Okay, next. The Moor of Venice is the subtitle of which of Shakespearean tragedies? That is Othello, Moor of Venice. Which two eponymous characters from a Shakespeare play have the surnames Montague and Capulet? That is Romeo and Juliet. Which one of Shakespeare's play is referred to by actors as the Scottish play? That is Macbeth. Shakespeare wrote a play about two gentlemen from which Italian city? That is Verona. Then next, Auberon, Italian, Pesce Bottom, and Mustard East. Okay, Mustard Seed. Mustard Seed are all characters from which one of Shakespeare's comedies? A Midsummer Night's Dream. So a Midsummer Night's Dream is a good thing, or we can say it is a well written by Shakespeare. So now we will discuss little much about a Midsummer Night's Dream. You can jot it in your copy. So if we will say about Midsummer Night's Dream, so we can say it is a comedy play by Shakespeare, as I have said you. So it is believed to be written in 1595. Theseus, Duke of Athens, prepares for his marriage with the Queen of Amazons, Hippolyta. So they organize a 4-day festival for their marriage. So he asked his master, Philostrate, to find some amusement for the occasion. So an Athenian nobleman, Aegeus, reaches king's court. Okay, he has reached the king's court. Okay, for judgment of his daughter Hermia. So Hermia was in love with Lysander, while Aegeus wanted her to marry Demetrius. So Hermia wanted to marry Demetrius. So Hermia was love with Lysander, while Aegeus wanted to her. Okay. Then king warned Hermia for disobeying her father. Hermia and Lysander plan to escape, and they tell their plan to Hermia's friend Helena. Helena was once engaged to Demetrius and still love him, but he doesn't. All depart to wood, means to forest. That is Demetrius and Helena, and Hermia and Lysander. So in the same wood, two different groups were also there. First, a band of fairies, and second, a band of Athenian craftsmen who are rehearsing a play to be performed in front of Duke. Oberon and Titania, who are formed band of fairies, were at fight on the point of making an Indian prince as a knight. So to obtain revenge, Oberon sends his servant Puck to fetch the magic flower. So he asked Puck to spread some flower juice on Titania's eyelid and some of two Athenian young men. When Lysander woke, he sees Helena and falls in love with her. Puck tries to undo his mistake, and as a result, both the men runs behind Helena. So Hermia is infuriated and asked Helena for a fight. Demetrius and Lysander also fight for Helena's love. So when Titania woke up. She sees Bottom, whose head is transformed into an ash, and Titania starts loving him. To mend everything, Puck again spread love potion in their eyes, and by morning everything is well. Demetrius now loves Helena and Lysander loves Hermia. So previously you have known Hermia was in love with Lysander while Aegeus wanted her to marry wanted her to marry Demetrius. So now Demetrius loves Helena and Lysander loves Hermia. So the group is married and the lovers go to bed. Robin Goodfellow is the other name of Puck. So Puck's other name is Robin Goodfellow. Okay. So in this A Midsummer's Night's Dream, famous quotes are which will must be come in Ssb Pgt. So that is, love looks not with the eyes but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. Okay, so remember it. Love looks not with the eyes but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. The next, the lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination of all compact. Lovers are madmen, have such seething brains, such shaping fantasies that apprehend more than cool reason over ever comprehends. So what angel wakes me from my flower bed? So these are 4 quotes. Okay, jot it down and remember it as it will come in PGT exam. So for today this much, and next day we will continue this topic of Shakespeare writings, and we will discuss some more objective type questions and some more about in objective type question. So which novel or which poem or which story is famous of Shakespeare, and we will much discuss about such things. Okay, so see you in next class. So if you like, then subscribe and comment me what we have to do for more improvement or any kind of notes you want, then I will send you in the comment or in the description. So comment me if you like.